Evening all. Welcome to the JFDI podcast. Thursday, 8 p.m. It's cool Yule time. I thought I would put the Christmas jumper on for you tonight. A bit of a present from my daughter years ago. It does mean that I can get extra clothes on under it because it's quite a baggy one. Should we get cracking with tonight's guest? Shall I get him in? Oh, I'm excited for tonight. So, listen, just a very quick intro. Because I know I can go on sometimes, right? Tonight's guest, I'm super excited for you to meet. And it's someone I met for the first time a couple of years ago. And I got to know this gentleman who, at the time, he was a London cabbie. Right around the time that we were going into lockdown, remember? And in the time that I've known him, he has gone from being a full-time London cabbie to owning, and I'll get this right, Prestige Equine, right? He's the owner of a horse trainer, of this of a company that matches owners to their perfect horse or pony, and he'll tell me if that's not right. So he finds people their perfect match, and he's gone from being a London cabbie to doing that during lockdown. You can imagine how many fares he was getting in lockdown. That is just one of the challenges that this gentleman has faced in his lifetime. We'll probably get onto for like another full-blown version. He's appeared in a book as well, under another name. You need to ask him what that was and why that was. Listen, I'm not going to rabbit on. Let's get tonight's guest on, Mr. Ben Dunne. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Mr. Richardson. How are we?
I'm very good. I'm good, mate.
Good.
How are you?
I'm very well. Thank you for having me on. I'm very grateful to be here.
It's lovely to have you. It's lovely to have you. I was thinking about your intro, and I thought, you know, it seemed fitting because, you know, I think we've got used to like kind of, and certainly you will talk as if the transition from being a cabbie to like
agent,
a full-time horse trainer, and horse,
yeah.
but that cannot have been easy.
No, mate. It can't be easy. I think it had to happen. There was no choice, you know. And thank you for introducing my business as well. So you got it nearly. So it's Prestige Equine Search. So we're agents and we help people find their, as you said, their ideal match horse or pony, and we make the process hopefully more enjoyable and exciting. So yeah, mate, it's been a roller coaster this year. I think been a roller coaster for us all, right?
Yeah. But you're happy, right?
Really happy, mate. I think you know, I'm out the cab now. I'm not in the cab as much and stuff. We're actually doing some Christmas tours next week, which is really exciting to be back doing that. But I'm not a full-time cab driver no more. My focus and my attention's on other things, and the main focus is as I'm building this business that I wake up every day and I'm really excited to be doing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Before we go on, because I have to ask you, just as you mentioned it, tell us a little bit more about the Christmas taxi tours that you do, because I think it's brilliant.
So I started actually before I started actually Prestige. We had no money coming in from the cab, and we went from, you know, we were probably 75% down. So I started doing these tours and bringing families in my local area of Hertfordshire into central London, looking at all the lights and stopping and talking and the banter of the cab driver and chatting away to them. And I started doing it. And do you know what? I was booked for the whole month, every single day. I was doing it, and it was great fun. Yeah. So you get me in the front chatting away constantly, and showing you some lovely sights of London. It's a beautiful city, mate.
Yeah. Fantastic. And it just kind of, you just had the idea and just kind of rolled with it, didn't you?
Do you know what? Yeah, I just rolled with it and I just advertised it. I was just brave enough to put something on Facebook, some pictures, and just say, do you know what? I'm going to go and do it and let's see what happens. I'm not scared of failing. If people criticize me, whatever. And then as soon as I done one or two, it got really easy. I was quite nervous, you know, to go in, because normally, you know, people are talking about the weather. you know, and stuff like that, weather and the politics and God knows what else. This time I was in and I had these families and the kids and they were all excited and I had it all dressed up, the cab, and the music was on. And, you know, there was people in the back getting a little bit merry, mate, with a few bottles of wine as well. So, yeah. Yeah.
Well, listen,
great
you've already answered one of my questions that I always ask, right? Is you know, I ask, it's the JFDI podcast, and I ask people how they apply their JFDI. But what you couldn't get a better example than just having an idea, going out and doing something like that, having a great time, providing a great service, and giving you know a bit of happiness and bringing a bit of joy into people's lives at Christmas, and maybe making a bit of cash as well. What's
just being versatile, mate. I think people are just frightened. Sometimes they get a bit frightened to fail. Do you know what I mean? Just go out and just try it. You know, I had no choice. I had no money coming in. I had to go out and get money. So that was the only way to go and get money, and it worked. Yeah, it's great.
Brilliant. So that's the JFDI question ticked off. and there's another one that I could go into, but I will come on to it later on.
Okay.
Because you just when you picked up, but it is one that I've got about the cab. In fact, I'll ask you it now. No.
Go on, ask me.
So you mentioned that some people were getting a bit merry in the back of the cab.
They were getting a bit merry.
So throughout your time as a cabbie, what would you say the weirdest thing anyone's done in the back of your cab?
Ooh, the weirdest thing that somebody's done in the back of my cab.
I'm not suggesting any like fake taxi type activities or anything, by the way. I'm just asking the question.
I think for me, a weird thing for me is when people are in the cab is when they kind of ask you. So this is a classic thing. They say to you, they turn the microphone on. They say, "Excuse me, driver," and you say, "Yeah, can I help you, sir?" They say, "Are you going the quickest way?" So I love this question. It's my favourite question. I always look in the mirror, get the mirror, put the mirror up, and I say, "No, sir. I'm not going the quickest way. I'm going the longest way possible, so I can make as much money out of you as possible because I've got the electric and the gas bill to pay." And they just look stunned. They just like, what do you mean? And I always say to them, a silly question does get a silly answer sometimes. Do you know what I mean? Of course I'm not going the wrong way or the long way. Do you know what I mean? It's like that I think, and you know, you get silly little things, but I've met some good celebrities actually. I've had Boris Johnson in, I've had Hugh Grant, I've had The Who, I've had Roger Daltrey in as well.
Yeah.
I've just met so many nice people. It's just great. It's a great job.
What did Boris Johnson have to say for himself?
Well, I was a fan of him at the time because I thought there was this bit he was going to save the cab trade and all that. And next minute he starts putting his bloody cycle lanes in, doesn't he? So he's he's killed that for us. But he was, before he was actually fully prime minister then at the time, he was in and he had kind of his advisors in the back and stuff like that. Okay. You know, it was good.
Brilliant.
So I don't know if that answers your question, but it gives you a little bit of an idea of silly questions that we
get.
Well,
it does, and because another one of the questions I had there was, who's the most famous person that you've had in the cab? So there you go. You've answered that as well.
I think one of the nicest I had in was Barbara Windsor. Obviously, she's not with us no more.
Oh, yeah. She
was nice. Yeah, she was lovely.
Oh. Yeah. Oh, brilliant. Should we talk about music?
Let's talk about it, mate.
Before we've like smashed an hour and not even come on to the first song.
This is the bit that excited me to come on. I've got to tell you now. I love.
How did you find choosing them?
Really difficult because I've got a vast music. I love music, so it's a big thing for me. It gets me happy, whatever, stuff like that. And I've got good memories of music. So I literally went through my playlist and I just went bam, 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 picked, and I went, there you go. And then I thought, we'll talk about it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Rather than just getting too complicated into it. But some of the tunes I've picked, I really like. So, yeah.
Brilliant. So the first one is Freed from Desire by Gala. Bit high energy.
That is a high energy tune. When I was a teenager, I'll give you a little bit of background here. I was doing a bit of hustling, wheeling and dealing, got my money together, and I bought some tickets for me and my cousin. We went out and we went to the Millennium Dome, and it was the first ever New Year's Eve party at the Millennium Dome. And I can tell you now, when you're standing in the middle of the dome and that tune drops, wow, it was unbelievable, mate. Unbelievable. I had such a great time, and I just love the song. I love the song.
Yeah. How old did you say you were at the time?
I've got to be about 16, 17 at the time.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I was ducking and diving. I was in Camden Town at the time, and I run down to, I think it was like Virgin or one of them music stores or something like that. I went in. You used to buy your tickets over the counter, get your tickets and stuff like that. He didn't know I was getting a ticket. I got the ticket. We turned up. I said, "Look, I've got a ticket." We all went, and like the whole of our kind of area where we were growing up at the time in Kilburn, they all went down, and it was unreal.
Yeah. So what was going on in your life at that time? What was happening?
I think I was living with my actual aunt at the time. I had a bit of problems with my parents and stuff like that, and I actually went and lived with them for some time and stuff like that. And I was ducking and diving, and I was wheeling and dealing and buying and selling and working here and working there. I've always been a little bit of a Del boy, so I've always been up and down doing this, doing that. And some really good times, some really fun times. Actually, I was skint, but I had no money. I had no money, but I was always one to kind of know, I could smell a fiver in a gale force wind kind of thing,
Right. What sort of what sort of things did you sell?
Oh, what did I sell, mate? What did I sell? So I used to buy. Do you remember the loot? Do you remember the loot? You remember the loot paper? You used to get it was like a paper, like you'd go and get the loot, and it was,
yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. They'd have all the categories in the loot. So I used to buy stuff from the loot and then sell it in the market. So I'd buy. I'll give an example. I went up north in my little van. I drove up north in my little van. I bought these pallets. You could never open the pallets, right? So you just have to buy the pallet as it was. It was like, homeware and stuff like that. So I got it back to my aunt's house, and I was opening up the pallet, and then there was like boxes of kettles, and you'd open the kettle or the microwave, and it would say, "Dear Argos, the plate's not working," or "Dear this, the button doesn't work." It had all notes inside it and stuff like that. And so we just kind of, we went down the market and the car boots, and as the kettles were going out, they were coming back, and then we were going out, and they were coming back, and it was just playing the game. It was a survival technique, it wasn't harming anybody, but some of the kettles didn't turn off, mate. Nor did the microwaves. They didn't come with any guarantees, but they were legit. They were legit. They just didn't all work.
They didn't all work at the time. So you were crikey. So that was market trading at the time. What was at that time ducking and diving? Did you have like an idea of something that like a dream job?
To be a millionaire. That was it, mate.
Yeah.
I just want to be a millionaire. Money. I always thought to myself, if I could earn £1,000 a week, £1,000 a week, I'd be a millionaire. All my problems would disappear. I wouldn't have to worry ever again. Money would be no problems. But actually, the fun is actually making the money, not actually always getting the money. Do you know what I mean? Like kind of that hustle and stuff like that. Yeah. And I just any opportunity I could see. If I needed to a bit of decorating, I had a gardening company. I've done a bit of gardening. Mate, I've had so many different businesses. It's unbelievable.
Did you get close?
No, I'm getting closer.
You're getting closer now.
I'm getting closer. As I get older, I think I'll get the key. One day it will happen.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So between then and now, and it'll probably a lot of it will probably fit into place as we go through the song. But what bit of advice would you give to that teenage, late teens hustler, ducking and diving Ben Dunne?
I think I just think keep plodding away, mate. Just keep going. Do you know what I mean? Keep going, but maybe have more of a clearer vision of what you wanted. I didn't really know exactly what I wanted at the time. I had no education as such. I was out of school. I didn't really have any GCSEs or anything like that. So all I knew was where the next pound note was coming from. So I had to go out and graft. And I've always been a grafter. I've worked since I was 14 years old. So I think the advice that I would always give is, I think it's just keep, understand, you've just got to keep going, and you've just got to, just hustle, whatever that may be. I think we're all hustling in our own right, whether we're doing it in a more professional way now, we're all hustling, right?
I think to some degree, that's life, isn't it?
It is. It's survival, isn't it? Survival of the fittest and stuff like that. But I'm proud of where I've come from and where I am today.
Fantastic. Right then, so swiftly moving into the next song.
Good.
We'll get you. It's a Stevie Wonder song, isn't she lovely?
Oh, I love this song. I love the album actually. So again, it goes back to my aunt and my uncle. They love this music as well, and it reminds me of them dancing around the house, cleaning the house, and it reminds me of my cousin. And she actually my uncle sung this to his eldest daughter, and it just reminds me of family. I love the music. It's just such a good album as well, and I love the song as well.
Yeah. So did you do a lot of dancing back then?
No, mate. God, no. I've done a lot. I thought I could do a lot of dancing, but yeah, no, I wouldn't say it would be a little bit more of a bit of an unusual movement. I might look like I'm having a fit at some points.
I get that. I get told to stop dancing by my daughter's wife. Actually, yeah, most people, dad dancing, stop it.
Yeah. So but that tune is carry on, mate. Go on.
Yeah, no, sorry, go on.
No, that particular song is a great song. It is a good song, and it just brings back memories. I think that's about music, right? It brings you back to a place in time where you were or what you heard. It's a cool album. I like that. I was listening to it today, actually.
Were you?
I was. Yeah, I was dancing around my house. Yeah.
And so when you were listening, did anything in particular come back into your mind, be it that song or any other song that kind of made you smile, laugh, take a deep breath? Anything that sort of like brought any?
Yeah. I think when I listen to that particular, as I said, when I go back to that song, I'm at a wedding. I'm at a table with my age group. That was my cousin's first wedding, and you're just with all of your family and you're having a great time. I think, yeah, but it does remind me of when my aunt and stuff was like just dancing around the house and just having great fun, cleaning and listening tunes blaring. Yeah, it's just great memories, you know.
Yeah. So that at that time, I guess at that time, were you in your life? Was that market trader Ben time? Or was
it was wheeler dealer, not think about tomorrow as much, just get on, survival, that kind of thing. I was at a time where I didn't really have a good relationship with my parents. I was kind of very lost. I didn't know whether I was coming or going. I didn't know what kind of I was in a movement of where my relationship was going with people and my personal relationships with myself. Mate, I was a very, very mixed up person at that particular time. So yeah, it was quite an unusual time. Not an unhappy time, but not always not a joyful time all the time. Do you know what I mean? I was like that.
Okay. How do you mean mixed up? In what way?
I think just not knowing exactly where I fit in. Do you know what I mean? Like I didn't really have even though people I had such a lovely family were giving me a home and stuff like that. I just didn't really that particular time know where I was at in life, and that was in everywhere. You know, I was kind of a little bit of the odd one out as such. But the only way I knew about getting out of that particular moment was just work. The way I've disguised a lot of stuff is just go to work, 7 days a week, just work. I've always been known, but everyone that knows me knows that.
Mm. And when you say that you were a little bit sort of, I don't think you said struggling, but having a bit of a tough time with your relationship with other people and yourself.
I think because my relationship with my parents has been so kind of volatile, you know, not 100%. I think then having relationships with other people and trusting people and, you know, kind of really putting yourself on the line, I found that quite hard. I do think the foundations come from your home life and what you see at home, what you experience at home, and what you know, having that someone to look up to. I kind of had not the best people to look up to.
Ah, right. Okay. I've got you. And what did that sort of, how did that manifest itself in your life then?
I think it's who I am today. It's given me some strength and it's given me some guidance. But I think, it is who I am today. I'm very grateful for it.
I mean, looking back, how did that sort of transpire in your life at the time? So as a result of that going on, what, you know, how I guess, how were you behaving at the time? What were you, you know,
I
what were you
suppose
up
I
to?
was trying. Yeah, I suppose there was addictions that come into play and stuff like that to suppress it. You know, marijuana and stuff like that, and
Okay.
potentially other drugs as well. And I think you're just trying to suppress that kind of that little bit of sadness inside you. You kind of just, and my behaviour was very up and down. I was never, violent to people or horrible in that kind of way.
Mm.
I was just very confused about who I was as a person and where I wanted to go at that particular time.
Right. Okay.
It's a hard
Okay.
one, isn't it? See,
Yeah.
when you're
Well,
asking me these questions, it's really hard because I'm revisiting it in my mind a little bit, and some of the bits I've kind of shut the doors on, and I don't even think
yeah.
about it anymore.
Well, I was writing questions down, as I always do, whilst I
I know.
listen to the music.
Yeah.
And it look where you've just taken us just now. One of the questions that I've written down here, and people will know right away what the song
Yeah.
is. I've written down here, how how do you, or do you ever feel that you have lost yourself? Because the next song for a variety is
Yeah. Yeah.
Eminem's "Lose Yourself" is the next song.
So Eminem, really, for that, I'll tell you the truth about that song. One thing I love about the song, I like running, right? So I've got into
Yeah.
my running and stuff like that. This year, I've been like fucking Forrest Gump, mate. I've been running and running and running. And that tune, really, if I need to just push past that, that level where your legs are about to snap, or you just don't want to do that next like rep, or I don't know, you're scared shitless or something, and you're just still doing it. I just put that tune in my ear, mate, and I'm there. Do you know what I mean? I am 100% there, and I'm just, it just brings a little bit of fire in your belly when you get that drum roll coming,
Yeah.
So I love it as well. While we're on the subject of the medals, by the way, I just wanted to show you.
Yeah.
Look at
Oh
fucking
my
Mr.
Lord.
Dunne. Look at fucking Mr. Dunne this year. I was going to start the show with me with these this year. Now, right. I was going to stand this.
Oh,
right.
mate, honestly. So
look at that.
Do you know how many's there? How many have we got there?
We got a handful of them at the moment. There's 5 or 6 there, but there's a few more upstairs as well. I fucking love a medal. I'm addicted to them. It's the only reason I'm running. I just love the medals. I tell you, there's something wrong with me. I tell you.
Tell us for anybody listening that doesn't know what that clank was, because when we're on Spotify and it's just
of course they don't know. Oh right, so fine. So
you've been running, haven't you?
I've been running. I've been doing half marathons. I've been doing 10Ks. I've been doing anything that I can run with. I've been running with, and I've been doing it with my father-in-law. And we've been booking one event after another event after another. We've got 5 or 6 booked next year. So I'm buzzing. I'm fucking buzzing about it. I'm so excited about it.
Fantastic.
Yeah, so I thought I was going to open it up with the medals on, but I thought I'd be a bit big-headed, wouldn't it? Just coming on your show with all these medals around my neck.
So what you thought was, I'll wait 20 minutes and then I'll get them out.
Yeah, I didn't want to kind of kill it straight away, but I just to let you know that I have got quite a lot of medals. Yeah.
Do you know where? Look, I'm gonna. You can't really see it, not with the light now. Right up there, hanging down.
Yeah.
That's all. They're all lanyards, right, from like festivals that I've been to.
Ooh.
Right.
Okay.
Now, and those are like kind of my trophies, but I do have, like the medals that you've got. I did what you're doing now. I did very similar, a number of years back, and ran, and it was about this getting fit. It was just about, it was about physically getting fit and mentally getting fit. And I'm guessing that's, why you've been doing it as well, right?
Yeah. No, definitely. Like it helped. I suffer with certain parts of mental health and stuff like that, and it literally, for some reason, it just makes me feel fantastic. And if I've got something to aim for, within that quarterly or within that month, I just find fitness a lot more enjoyable, and I am addicted. As I said, I've got something wrong with me. I am addicted to getting medals, mate. I mean, I'm even looking at the medals that I'm going to get next year. I haven't even got them yet. Yeah, so I'm really good, and it kind of goes back to the knowledge a little bit, just to go back a little bit on what we were discussing. Because when I passed the knowledge, we got that little badge. I haven't got it here actually. I should have it here, but you get a badge for the knowledge. That's the medal you've got for all the work you do over them years. It took me 2.5 years to get my badge, and then you get your medal. And I think sometimes it's always good to just have that little bit of something to kind of get at the end of your goal, and that's
something to be striving for, studying for something,
yeah,
or kind
yeah,
of
and finding a way of enjoying fitness. Like, I never thought I'd love running, but I really enjoy it. I really enjoy it.
But we're quite big on this, setting goals, aren't we, and setting targets.
Well, me and you, we've been practicing it for quite a bit of time now, haven't we? I wouldn't say we're experts, but I say we're quite good at it, right?
Yeah. Oh, well, I think like you said earlier on, learning every day. And not comparing ourselves to other people, I think, has been one of the biggest penny drop moments for me in the last X number of years.
Yeah.
Is the only person that we need to compare ourselves to is the person that we were yesterday.
Mate, I absolutely love that. Just use yourself. Yeah. Forget about there. Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah. Because and it's that, because I think for years, and I maybe come on to it as well. For years, it's that way of kind of looking back, kind of go, why did I feel the need to be seeking approval from there or there or there or there? It was like the only person that mattered was the person's in the mirror getting that person's approval. Because if you've got that approval, really, when you search deep, then that's the only person's approval you really need, really.
I do think that, I do think that, and I think we all need a little pat on the shoulder sometimes and say, well done and stuff like that. But I do agree with you. I think a lot of my mistakes over the years have been looking for approval with people that actually don't really matter, really.
Yeah. Great.
Listen,
I've got a question. I've got a question for you right here.
Go on.
And again, it's from one of the lyrics in one of the songs.
Go on.
And have you ever seen Lucifer on Netflix? No. I cut a very long story short. Set in LA, guy plays the devil. Plays the devil. And he helps the LAPD with crimes because he basically can tell what people what their innermost desires are, because he's the devil, right? And people have to tell him what they truly desire. And given that it's a lyric in one of your songs, I'm gonna, in my finest Lucifer, what is it they call it? When that mind trick, Ben Dunne.
Crystal ball.
What do you truly desire? What is your innermost desire?
It's a big question, Graham. Jesus, you're going deep tonight, mate. You're trying to kill me here. My innermost desire is to be a happy man. To be a happy man. That's it. And not anyone else's definition of happiness, my version of happiness. I'm very clear on what that is. So that's my desire. I don't know if that's a bit vague, but that's what
It's not, because I've got a follow-up question, but I knew it would anyway. So to be happy, and it's not vague, but that's your view and your interpretation of what happiness is. So just taking that a little bit further, how would you define success and failure?
I think I've failed more times than people have tried. I can tell you that for sure. How would I define it? I would define success being able to have a good night's sleep and not worry that. I don't know. Yeah, it's a difficult one, that one. And I think failure for me is going back to addiction of maybe alcohol and drugs again.
Okay.
So that's how I define it, because I think if I wake up every day and I've got a vision, and when I can go to bed and I can, there's a big thing going to bed, putting your head on a pillow and not actually having any worry, knowing that your day's been great. That's success. I feel successful then. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But failure for me would be going backwards and repeating patterns that never really would make me become the devil. Does that make sense? And I don't
Yeah.
want to be that person no more. Does
Right.
that help?
Yeah, it absolutely. So, like you said, that you
Yeah.
failed more times than many
Yeah.
people have ever tried.
I have, mate. I'm a trier, mate.
So, going back, like that
Yeah.
whistle stop, wheeler dealer, Ben,
Yes.
and that sort of period of, like you say, not unhappiness, but just
Yeah.
uncertainty and kind of lack of direction, lack of
Yeah.
purpose. What kind of changed that? Did something happen in your life that brought
Yeah.
you to a point where you were like, all right, this is enough. Something's got to give. Something's got to change.
I think the that when you yeah, I think when you look in the mirror, you might have a good bank account and stuff like that. But when you look in the mirror and you don't like who you see in the reflection, I think
Yeah.
that's when you need to change.
Okay.
And I never done any of this transformation stuff that I've been on the journey. I genuinely haven't done this for anyone else. I've done it for me. I've done it for me. They've got a better version of me, right? And I'm a better person. I know I am. But
Yeah.
I've done this for me, and I hope that kind of answers it a bit. But yeah.
Well, has there been a moment
Yeah.
or like an event that changed that caused you to go, I don't like that person in the mirror?
Yeah, I think there is. I mean, I think I think even in Paul's book, it says that when I was in the cab, I realised that I was sitting outside on Blandford Street, and oh, you get me.
You're all right, mate.
Yeah. So yeah, that was the time I had to kind of change. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So this was
Oh,
sorry, and
sorry. You got me. You got me. Yeah, you got me. It's
I
fine.
don't want you to talk
Yeah.
about anything that you're not comfortable with, but
Yeah. I think
the
the big moment was when you don't like yourself, you have to change. You have to change. You can't. And I think the moment for me was starting the Unstoppable kind of program. That was the main start of me changing, as you know. But yeah, sorry about that. I had a little bit of a moment. Yeah.
mate, it's
Yeah.
absolutely fine, and I think
Yeah.
that the without cause resurfacing a whole
Yeah.
load of
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're just what I will say for anyone that wants to know the real gory detail without
Yeah.
upsetting you.
Yeah.
It's in an audio book called Paul Mort Will Save Your Life,
Correct.
and
Yeah.
I
And,
think
and
there's
I'm the
only
London cab.
one. I
One
think there's
cab
only
driver.
one London cabbie, isn't there?
There is, yeah. So I think, getting back to, as I've composed myself now, getting back to that was probably the moment that I realised I needed change. When I saw Paul's Cliff video, when I was sitting outside, I was very sad, I was very depressed, and it brings emotions up now when I think about it. Because I'm like, oh God, I still feel a little bit, even though I'm not that person anymore. It still
Yeah,
makes me quite sad that I was that person.
yeah. You just didn't like who you'd become, and
Yeah, through layers. I think layers and layers of layers, like like a recipe. The constant, like this, and you become this person that you just don't know and you don't know where to go. Like you're just kind of like, well, I don't know what to do. Do I just be this person? You don't know who to ask because you're frightened, and then you ask, and then you get the. I'm very good at asking now if I need some help.
yeah. So let's talk about the next song, because there's some questions that we'll come back to that. We'll come back to the
Yeah,
Unstoppable journey. We'll
yeah,
come back to that.
yeah.
But you've chosen a Whitney Houston song next,
Oh, I love a bit of Whitney.
and
Go on.
yeah, it's I Want to Dance with Somebody, right?
I love that song, mate. I'll tell you, full. But you've got to have that song. I love it. I absolutely love it. Yeah. I actually had there was a family friend. She was a lady that used to come round and babysit us when we were kids and stuff like that. And she had this like a VW kind of like golf thing, and she used to put it on in her car and just rev it up. She had the music, she had all the speakers. It looked the part, lovely car. And I used to sit in there, and she'd be singing at the top of the voice. And I think at that time, you would get all of these, you had all like the reality shows coming on with, you know, all these kind of hopeless fucking people singing a load of crap. And she would always say to me, she'd say, you know, this woman is a real proper singer, you know, listen to her. She's a really good singer. And I just remember it. And I love a bit of Whitney. Everyone needs Whitney on their playlist, mate. So it's the rules.
The reason I thought it was a good point, because Mr. Mort himself was on the podcast, and chose a Whitney Houston song as well.
Well, see, he's got good taste. He's fucking legend, isn't he? Yeah, he's a legend, isn't he? You know what I mean? He's even trying to nick my tunes now, isn't he? So yeah. No, I love it. I do love a bit of Whitney. Who doesn't like Whitney Houston? Do you know what I mean? Like, you've got to have that pumped up. And it was hard for me to pick one, actually, because to be honest, there's so many good ones there, isn't there? You know.
Oh, yeah. So in her song, it kind of brings us back a little bit to like a point in your life where you kind of wanted to change some stuff.
Yeah.
You were driving the cab at that point in time.
Correct.
And you decided, right, want to make some changes. So the question that I've written down is, you know, can you tell us about a time when you've taken a risk or a chance? And I know we could go back to that earlier chat about the tours and stuff. But I'm thinking around that time, you know, can you think of a time where, you know, that uncertainty has kind of caused you to get to a point where you've had to do something without knowing what the result is going to be, but you've kind of gone, I can't get any worse than this?
Literally not, mate. You know, I mean, the best example of where it couldn't get any worse is obviously we've had COVID, and my taxi business there was no taxi business there, literally nothing, you know, 30 quid a day, 40 quid a day from a, you know, we were earning good money at the time, and it went. And then I started Prestige Equine Search, and look at it now, we are helping hundreds of people all over the UK, and that would be my best example of change through a crisis and it's in Paul's book, you know, it's in Paul's book. He tells it clearly how it is, and I've managed to go on and not only build that, but build a Highwood Hall Equestrian as well, which are livery yard with, you know, we're rammed with a waiting list, mate, you know?
Yeah. So how did that happen? All right. For those that don't know you, which might be a lot of people.
Yeah.
Whereabouts did the choice to move into horses come from? Why horses? It's not the transition that people would sit and go, yeah, well, I was a cabbie and then I opened an equine search business. It's an interesting transition.
So I moved up to Hertfordshire probably about 10 years ago. About 10 years ago, and I was in a relationship at that point. That's why I moved up, and then the relationship didn't go well. That person was in horses, and then I met someone else in the horse world, and we had the opportunity together. We were on livery yards. We were horse people, enjoying. I was learning how to ride and enjoying, you know, horses, but we wanted our own business and our own kind of place. And then we rented some land, which we still got today. And about this time of year, actually, it was snowing at the time, and we both together decided to create Highwood Hall Equestrian, create the business, create the environment for people to come and be part of us. And there was a few people that, you know, was a bit skeptical whether we could do it. We built that, and then once we built that, I was 50-50 in the cab, and then I was 50-50 in that, because obviously we were building this business. And then when the cab trade obviously and COVID hit, Highwood couldn't sustain my finances coming in and money coming in, and couldn't look after all of us. And my partner also has got another job as well. So I decided to start Prestige Equine Search, and it has been the best thing I've ever done.
Yeah.
So now that started at the beginning or over COVID, and we didn't know where it would go. I had no idea. I just started helping this person, that person, and it has literally exploded. Where we are helping, we generally have helped hundreds of people this year find their absolute perfect horse or pony, and you know, regardless of your experience, your levels, your where you are in the horse world, working with us, you are getting exposure now to just some amazing stuff, and our reviews and stuff on Facebook and on Twitter and all of that and Instagram. They kind of speak for themselves. I actually read them and I can't believe what people are saying. How much they love the experience that they've been in.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Was there any time during that sort of, taking that chance, was there any time where you thought this isn't going to work, where money dried up, or you had kind of spells where was like, this is going to, did you have doubts?
I think with Highwood, I did. We've had it for many years now. You've got to be. It's every single day. You've got to be up. You're shoveling shit. And it's freezing cold, and you're trying to run a yard with multiple different personalities of people, and trying to keep everyone happy, and trying to pump money in and getting very little reward out, but trying to look at the bigger picture where we've got our own premises and we can flourish with our own horses, as well as allow other people to be part of that journey as well. Yeah, I've had doubts all the way through, mate. But I have no choice but to succeed. I have to go forward. I have to keep going. Do you know what I mean? And I'm always looking for that next opportunity that I can make people happy. And I think that's the thing now. Making people happy is my kind of medicine.
What's the biggest thing that you've learned about yourself in the last 2 years?
I don't know, really. So that's, again, you're good at answering these questions, aren't you?
That's kind of why you come on.
I would say, just answer me the question once more.
The question was, what's the biggest thing that you've learned about yourself in the last 2 years?
That I'm a good person. Yeah. I'm all right. I'm happy. I'm good. I would like to be my friend.
And do you think that you didn't think that 2 years ago, or did you didn't?
No, mate. I didn't. I wasn't a happy bunny. I didn't really want to be around people either. My partner had to put up with me. No.
Okay. So what's happened in that 2 years? We know that in that 2 years you've got your own business, mate. But
the business just sufficiently provides me with stuff that is in my life. But I think that being part of the program that me and we've been part of together has really give me confidence and give me direction. I was just very lost. I just didn't know. All I knew was to wake up in the morning, walk downstairs, go to work. Wake up in the morning, go downstairs, go to work. That's all I knew. I didn't know why I was going to work. I didn't have any holidays booked. I had no challenges booked. I wasn't really looking after myself. So I think what I've learned is how to balance things out and create my own enjoyment in each area of my life, and understand that I'm responsible for creating it.
Yeah.
And everybody's got a story, as Paul Mort would say. Everybody's got a story. Like, I'm giving you my story. I'm putting on the plate. I got quite emotional, but it's my story. Do you know what I mean? But you can't constantly be using that story behind. You kind of got to go forward, and that's what I do on a daily basis. I go forward.
So you mentioned that Ben wasn't taking care of himself.
No, mate. No, unfortunately not. No.
So how does Ben? What does Ben that looks after himself now? How does he differ? How does he differ? How did Ben not? What did Ben do when he wasn't looking after himself?
I think just eating crap food, boozing, kind of just repeating it. I'm a very addictive person, mate. If I drink a bottle of wine, I have to drink a bottle of wine every single night. If I eat crisps and shit and chocolate, I have to do it every single night. It's like that. So I've now realised with my, should we call it my addictive personality in certain ways, I've turned it round and try and use it in positive ways. So I get addicted to good things that I enjoy doing. Do you know what I mean? And sometimes I don't really fucking enjoy doing it, but I know that the benefits of doing it. So my thing at the moment is the 5 a.m. club. I wake up at 5 a.m., come down, let the puppies out. I've got 2 new puppies, by the way. I'm so excited about them. Let them out, play with them, do my journaling, do my potentially, as you know, you're a Wim Hof man now. I'll do my Wim Hof thing. And I start my day, and I'm sitting outside the gym at 5 to 6, ready to crush it for half an hour to get my mind in the right place.
Yeah.
Mate, I do. You know a lot of the stuff I do in regards to getting myself on point for the day. But the 5 a.m. thing, game changer, mate. It's a game changer. So
How important is that to you versus not doing it?
you,
What does
you
Ben that does all that look like
yeah,
versus Ben that stays in his scratcher until 7 o'clock
yeah.
and then gets up, has
Have
a
a
cup of coffee
conversation
and
with
goes to work?
me at have a conversation with me at 7, 8 o'clock in the morning, and I'll tell you what. I mean, mate, I'm like a beast. I'm telling you now. I am fully charged, ready to go. Know what my day looks like, and I'm ready to go. You know, I'm there. I'm just
On it.
100% focused. Mate, I'm like on it. So excited to start my day. Like I can't wait. It sounds ridiculous. I can't wait to start tomorrow. I'm already looking forward to tomorrow. Do you know what I mean? Because I planned what tomorrow looks like, and I know where I'm going. And yeah,
Yeah. You've got something to get out of bed for now. How much of that change in kind of what you're doing
yeah,
into how much of that sort of fulfillment do you get out of that, do you think is based on the happiness that you are bringing other people in that perfect that match with the
yeah,
horse?
yeah. I think it does. Yeah, it's so exciting, mate. I mean, I don't even see it. Yeah, of course it's work, and of course I've got to know my boundaries, but. I just get so buzzed off it, mate. I just love helping people. I love just solving their problems. And there's a big bit in the market at the moment for somebody like me to come in and disrupt it slightly, but in a very good way, and
Yeah,
work with people at the top end and work with people at the lower end, and just literally just help them. Literally take their hand and say, "Don't worry, we're going to do this together." We do it, and then when I get the reviews and the pictures, mate, I can't even believe where it's gone. You know, I'm so excited for next year.
yeah. Well, I noticed when because I had a little read of the description again of Prestige Equine,
Yeah,
and it talks about in the UK,
yeah.
and I wonder when things improve, what chances there
Who
are of
knows?
that being in Europe and the world.
So we've done stuff outside. Actually, we've had people contacting us now from different parts of the world where we've sourced horses, and we have actually placed horses abroad as well. So I think that will happen. But at the
Yeah,
moment, I think the UK kind of leading horse search agent, it just has a nice ring to me. And as I said, I think there's a place for me and my company in the market right now. And I'm not inventing. There's other people do what I do,
yeah,
but I just do it in my way. And I think my way is helping both sides, the people that are producing the horses and the people that are searching, and like everything, making them super clear what they actually need right now and what the gap is. Does that make sense?
yeah.
But my mission is basically to help people find the perfect horse or pony.
Oh,
That's my mission, mate. I'd say that is my mission. I'm like that every morning, boom, 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 just thinking, where can I get the next one for that family?
yeah,
And they're some of these families are so happy, Like before me and you got on the call, I was still talking to people this evening about decisions that they're potentially going to be making over the next couple of days before Christmas.
yeah. Is there one standout that you can tell us about
Yes.
something that a client that's I guess impacted you or as kind of like their
Yeah.
response or feedback has blown you away? Is there a story that stands above the rest that's knocked your socks off?
Do you know what? I don't want to, because my clients now are like friends to me, so they've given me such lovely reviews. So
Yeah,
in their own way, they've all given me something. But there is one lady that is she's 72 years old, mate, and she came to me looking for a really nice horse, but she's got the mind of like an 18-year-old. So she knew what she wanted, but
yeah,
her body potentially might not be able to cope with what she wanted, right? And it was
Okay.
this challenge of I was trying to tell her, and she was like, no, this is what I
I'm
want.
a bit like that at 50, mate, I think.
So I just got her. I've actually got her horse, but I've got another horse at my yard that belongs to her that didn't actually work out. So there's not always a success story, but I've just got her a new horse, and she's got support and she's got trainers, and she's brilliant. She actually flies. She's got birds of prey, so she actually she's got like 100 odd birds of prey where she flies them and stuff. Mate, this woman is incredible, by the way. 72 years old. She'll kill me for saying her age, but she is incredible. And she's just got a new horse, and that was all thanks to me and my team and working. And I have got a little team now. I can't believe that.
Yeah. Oh, and she just made her super happy.
Yeah, mate. But there's so many. There's ponies going to families. There's daughters happy, sons happy. There's women that have lost their confidence that want us to help them. There's people that have had bad experiences and they're kind of a little bit unsure. And then other people, I solved the problem within days, and they're like, "Oh my God, I can't believe you've done that. Where did you find that?" Do you know what I mean? And it's just it's because we're just building the relationship up now. And mate, I keep saying it, 2022 is going to be an epic year, bro.
All right, you get it. You've said it too many times now. You get that. We're going to keep it towards the end, but you're going to have to tell me what's in store for you in 2022. What's happening?
So 2022 is to build this little, let's call it a little empire, my little world of helping people. So I'm going to build that up. There's going to be some live experiences with Prestige Equine Search where we do some training events with people that they bring their horses that we've sourced. And there's going to be a program to help them afterwards when they get their horse, to help them build the confidence and stuff like that. And then there's the development side, the personal development, obviously working with Mr. Alex Myers, which I am super excited about, by the way, as you know. And we've got like some really cool stuff like booked. Mate, I'm doing Nevis. I'm fucking going climbing a mountain next month. You know what I mean? And I've got 5 events with my father-in-law. We're running. We're doing running and a lot of, I mean, I love running with him. I call him the meerkat. So he looks like a meerkat, by the way. So me and my meerkat, you'll see me posting kind of a run-in today, and he's in his early 60s, and mate, he put most men to shame with running. I'll tell you, like he's fantastic. So mate, it's just and I've got holidays booked, and me and my partner, we've got experiences. We're going to do days out, and I'm just super excited. Mate, I've just ordered a planner. I'm not joking. It's about the size of this window right behind me. Yeah, massive. And that planner, I can honestly tell you, you could not sit in front of that and not be excited. You just couldn't. It's impossible. You know what I mean? You just have to look at that planner and think, oh my God, that's what I'm doing this year. And that's what I'm doing. If I get that shit done, I'm going to be the happiest man going. And guess what? It will get done.
What if it doesn't get done?
It'll be done in a different way.
You love it. You love a good challenge.
It's getting done. It's getting done, mate. It's getting done. And that's what the thing is. I think one thing I've learned on this self-development thing, when you really love doing something, it just gets done. It gets done. And so many people are doing shit they don't like doing. Go and do something you want to do, mate. Go and whatever that may be. Do you know what I mean? I mean, there's people that sweep streets, mate, and clean bins and serve you in a particular shop, you know what I mean? And they're the happiest people in the world, do you know what I mean? You don't need to do shit that you don't like doing, do you know what I mean?
Yeah. There's been failures in the past though, right?
Fucking failures, Jesus Christ. I think I've been run over and fucking reversed over again, yeah? There's been lots of failures, mate, yeah.
How much of a part have they played in...
Huge, yeah. I mean, you saw,
you go about
I got emotional.
Now.
Yeah, I got emotional about it, like, because you think, shit, but it's stuff, you think that's gone wrong. But do you know what is quite cool now as I get older? I'm kind of cool with kind of failing. I don't mind failing, it's fine. But I'm more angry if I don't try. So if I don't try, I'm more angry, and I kind of look for things like, I mean, this mountain thing, mate, next month, right? I'll be totally honest with you. I've never climbed a fucking mountain in my life. Do you know what I mean? I mean, I've got no idea how it's going to be. I mean, I know you're from up that way. You know what I mean? You're used to all these kind of like fucking. I'm a southerner, mate. We don't deal with that kind of weather. Do you know what I mean? And I'm going to do it. Yeah, and I believe, I'm doing it.
I think that's the measure of you, though. That how much running had you done before you decided
None.
to go and crack a few marathons?
No, only running away from myself, mate. That was the only thing I was doing. And now I'm running. I mean, I run my first one. I actually went, Paul, I set it as my 90-day outcome. I done the Oxfordshire half marathon. And I woke up in this house in the morning at 5 o'clock. I was shitting myself. Do you know what I mean? I drove all the way there on my own. It sounds like, you're a big man, a big boy and all that, but it was a big deal for me. You know what I mean? I'm getting out. I didn't have a clue. I could, I didn't know whether I was going to drop dead. You know what I mean? I didn't know what a half marathon was. Do you know what I mean? And I loved it. And I think Alex was saying something to me the other day, is like, what's the next thing? And like maybe a full marathon. I was thinking, fuck that. I'm knackered after doing a half marathon. But I think it is. I think the London Marathon is definitely on the cards. I'm not sure if it's on the cards for 2022, but it potentially will be for 2023.
Yeah. Would you be tempted? Because a lot of the entries in the big marathons these days are all for charity. Would you do it? Would you do a charity?
Yeah, I love a bit of charity. I love giving like anyone. But I don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't really do the charity thing normally. I just do it for myself. I think there's enough pressure sometimes involved in an event like that with having your focus can really be pushed over to the charity thing when actually you're just trying to get yourself from A to B, get over that line.
Yeah.
But I would be quite competitive and I would want to try and do it in a good time. I don't want to be one of these fucking granddads, you know what I mean? Like half dead back there still, thinks yourself. I mean, so you look at yeah.
If you were to do an event, whatever it was for charity, what's your chosen charity? What sort of
I don't know. I'd probably go for like the hospices, because I think like they're like guardian angels, aren't they? Really, so I'd probably go for them kind of people. It always amazes me how they go home and just like carry on with their day and like look after their families. But I'd probably go for the hospice. Yeah, like we've had family members that have been poorly and they've been looked after in a few of the hospices that I would know, like Central London. I was born in Hampstead, so I was born at the Royal Free. There's one just there, and there's ones up here as well. And I do. And I have done events for them and raised money for them before, but I just haven't done it via really running. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So you've never climbed a mountain before, and you're going to do the highest one in the UK on the 8th of January.
Yeah, mate. Well, when you're part of this guy, this guy here, yeah, you got no choice, mate. You know that he brings some fire to you. So I'm doing it, yeah, and yeah.
How much do you think? Yeah, I'll be there.
Well, you can fucking carry me if I fall apart. You're used to that, aren't you?
Well, yeah. Do you know that for me it's a warm up for Poland?
Oh, here. For what? Tell me a bit more about this.
I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it now with what's happening. My Wim Hof instructor final exam is at the end of January.
Oh, you're doing the thing, jumping off. You're going to go to Poland and do the thing of the Wim Hof thing, yeah?
Yeah, so it's but basically
and walking up the mountain in shorts.
Yeah.
You're a lunatic, aren't you? Literally a lunatic. Now, can I ask you, Clint, would you have done that when me and you first met? And it's been a couple of years now. Would you even have thought of doing something like that?
No.
Never.
No.
I mean, I nearly fainted putting my hand, in that bucket thing when we done that challenge there. People laugh and they think, oh, they get all this twisted. Oh, it's an arm, it's in ice, it's 2 minutes, anyone can do it. You go and do it. I had no food that day. I put my hand in that bucket. Mate, Paul come up to me and say, you all right? I was thinking, I'm about to collapse. I was literally, you're not joking. I literally felt I went drained, mate. Why?
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right. That was the experience for me that kind of set me on that path.
Yeah, I know. You've been like a Wim Hof madman now. You love it, don't you?
Yeah. I love getting cold. You'll be fine. And this is what I love about like this trip up Ben Nevis is everybody that goes up is going to see how important it is to be in control of your breath. Because everybody will struggle no matter how fit you are because of when we're doing that, because we're climbing it at the end of January. Right, we'll probably not even get 3/4 of the way up Ben Nevis before we hit snow.
Have you seen the kit we need?
Yeah.
No, I think I've got to remortgage the fucking house. You know what I mean? Jesus Christ! Do you know what I mean? There's a lot of gear in there, mate. I tell you, I was going to turn up with a pair of like just a little jacket and a little bobble hat on. You know what I mean? I think I've got to up my game a little bit with that.
Yeah, well, we've got 3 guides coming up with us because it's because of the
There's
time
a
of
lot of
year.
us. Yeah.
And there's 15 of us. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do your next song. I quite like this. I'm not a massive fan, but
Go on.
your next song, this song,
Yeah.
it brings back memories for me as well. But I'm
Go on.
curious to know, Elton John's "I'm Still Standing."
Oh, mate, I just love the album. I'll tell you why I've fallen in love with it again. I love the is it the Rocket Man? You know the movie on Netflix that he done.
Yeah,
I went and saw it in the cinema, and the opening to that film in where they opened it up. You know, kind of when he's in the rehab thing. My name's Elton. I'm this. I've got this problem, that problem. Mate, I fucking loved it. And I just thought, do you know what? Everybody in their life has probably had a moment where they, I'm still standing and I'm fucking still standing. And I love listening to it. And I still will listen to it. And it gets me going, mate. So I just bang it on and I'm still here, still fighting away. So yeah, but that's where it comes from. It's I fell in love with the music again from listening to watching his movie. Not everyone's cup of tea, but I enjoyed it. And at that moment, he was going for a bit of a time in his life where he lost his partner or something like that, and it was all getting a little bit hairy. And then he went down to Brighton and done his little childish dance and very camp dance as well on the beach. And he's still standing, even at his age.
That movie. I think
Epic.
you don't realize until, again, it's like the Bohemian Rhapsody, the Queen one as well. You don't, I think, quite appreciate the struggle that these guys, and in as much as in as much as you kind of look and you go, well, you had all that money, you had all that fame, but actually, in the similar way that you've kind of you've talked about when you were at a point in your life, it's like they've gone through something that they've whether it struggled and fought to admit to themselves about who they were. And then the hurdle of kind of telling people as well. And let's face it, when I mean, I think there's still that challenge even now. But back, when your man Elton was like the
When
age
he was
he
coming
was,
out, it was a big problem. Yeah,
it was massive, right?
Yeah, and then as you said with Queen, there was the HIV going around at that time and serious things at that time. So I think I can obviously in my lifestyle I choose to live with my partner and stuff like that. I can really relate to him as a person coming out with addiction and also struggling with the fact that he was obviously gay as well. So So I can relate to that. Yeah, definitely.
How much through your own journey? What have you had any like real kind of challenges?
With that,
And when, what's kind of response have you had? Has anybody been anything other than in today's today as it is?
I suppose it's hard. Not really. I've been quite good. I'm quite a lot of people tell me you wouldn't know that I was gay or my with my partner and stuff that I'm very proud of. But I think I think we live in a world.
Lovely, by the way, who's a lovely young man, I have to say, because I met Nathan. Yeah.
Oh, enough of the young, please. There is an age gap, but you don't have to say young. Okay?
Hey, listen,
I'm not a fucking granddad.
we're all young men. It's how you feel. It's how you feel in here.
Well, exactly. Well, we get back to that bit, but no, I haven't had any prejudice. I think the biggest thing of me being out and stuff like that is I never felt that I needed to explain myself. So I don't ask you about who you're with, and I used to feel that no one needed to ask me who I was with. Do you see what I mean? So I never really justify it. But some people do get quite shocked when they see me with a man. Yeah, they do. They think, what the fuck is going? Who's that? Do you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
so I don't feel like I need to justify it. It is quite funny when when I was in the cab and you would get some camp guides in and they were camp and they would say, I mean, particularly one said to me, and I loved it. He said to me, "I bet you've never had 4 gay men in the back of your cab before." I said, "Well, actually, yeah, there's 5 of us, and they are, we'd have the roar and we'd laugh, But do you know what I mean? It was the flamboyance and the thing, and I think we live in a world now that is, thank God, we live in a world now that is very open-minded and free to speak, in the right way.
Yeah, I think it's, if I'm honest, like what you said, it's another one of the reasons why I started doing this, because people sharing their stories, and we've had so many amazing stories on here again tonight, another one.
Good.
But there are still those that talking, and we come back to that young, right? And I'm a little bit older than you, but we still come from a generation of males who, like deep down, when we were young, we were told to just shut up. We don't talk about feelings. We crack on. We get on.
Get on with it. Get on.
And actually, what I'd like to think that I've contributed a little bit in doing this is having guys on that aren't afraid to talk about, their own journey and how that they've kind of viewed themselves and kind of how that's been destructive and kind of how they've changed things or and how they now feel about themselves and actually feeling, talking about them, as much as it's, at the end of the day, we're not going to sit and talk about feelings, because you and I are very much about, well, it's great. If there's a problem with how you feel, nobody's coming to save us. So if we want to change the way that we feel, there's only one person that's going to do anything about it, right?
Well, I think when Paul said, when I done his live event, and the end bit was that you will change your life. He won't change your life. You'll change your life. He'll give you the tools to do that. I've learned that very, very clearly. And, it's quite exciting. Once you're given the tools, Graham, I think you'll agree with me, right? It's so exciting, because you just kind of, you think, well, you've got that buffet of things to help you, and you can pick and you can change your state and you can change your mood. And with the Wim Hof thing, I mean, it's incredible shit, it's amazing stuff. I absolutely love it. So I think sometimes men just need that just helping hand whatever their journey is.
Yeah, I love it. Okay, right, listen, I said your story so far, but we're not finished yet. We've got a few more things.
Go on.
So I had some quick fire questions. I've actually I've asked you the cab questions.
Good.
Here's one about the horses that I had for you. So I think I know the answer to this now, because it's about seeing people happy. It's about adding value, and kind of matching people with a horse that really gets a buzz, gives you a buzz.
Right, the horses are for me for riding. I love riding, mate. So it's for me as well as them. Do you know what I mean? The horses and stuff.
And it was on your personal love for horses, be it as a trainer. Is there any competitive, as a trainer, any horses that you buy or sell likely to appear in any Grand Nationals anytime soon?
Well, I don't. You never know. You never know. We've sold some very nice horses, and they're doing very well. At a good level and stuff like that. But I'm still waiting for that one that's going to make me that millionaire. I'm still going. I'm still going, mate. Red Rum. Yeah.
Red Rum.
Red Rum. I'm still going, and I think we're all looking for that. But you know what? I've got more of a chance now because I'm working with some cracking people. So, it's, what they say. It's not what you know. Sometimes it's who you know. So I reckon I'm going to have some more opportunities to maybe find that little $1 million one. You never know.
Right. Okay. Oh, it's watch this space in 2022, isn't it?
Well, I'm telling you, mate. You never know. You never know.
Oh, yeah. All right.
What's the next question?
So the next question, there's a couple of just really quick ones.
Go on.
Obviously, we're doing Christmas, and we've got. I agreed to a Christmas song just
You
because
did.
this
Yeah.
is the last. It's the last JFDI podcast of the year. We're seasonal. So I said, yes, we'll have your 5 songs, but just for
And I can
you,
have one.
Ben, we'll have a Christmas song as well.
Right.
So
So
do you want to tell us what your Christmas song is?
yeah, is it the Fairy Tale of New York? Yeah, that's the one I went for,
Yeah.
didn't I? Yeah. Mate, you just listen to the Pogues, don't you? You know, and I don't know what it is with that song, but it just kind of it just gets you in the mood, doesn't it? There's loads that get you in the mood, of course, but I just love it. And yeah, it just gets me in I listen to it and it reminds me when I was a kid and Christmas was really coming, you know.
Yeah.
And is it Shane McGowan? Is it?
Yeah.
He's an unusual looking character. So
Oh,
no
yeah.
teeth,
He is.
no teeth, and he's roaring away. And it kind of maybe puts me back to when I was a kid, when you're kind of in the servicemen's clubs or and you get a guy get up and start having a little bit of a sing song, and he had a very unusual voice.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So yeah, the Pogues. Yeah,
What's your favourite thing about Christmas now?
Oh, do you know what I just love having my partner and just the horses and my dogs and
Yeah.
and I love going out for dinner. I mean, I know people like cooking dinner, fair play
Yeah.
to them, but I love going and sitting at a table and just having it all brought
Right.
to me.
So is Prestige Equine Search taking a break over Christmas? How long are you going to take off?
Oh, so we're actually starting our program will restart up again, but we've got people coming into the program still now.
Yeah.
So there's going to be a week gap, so we can have a week break and stuff like that, because obviously letting people just enjoy the market. But from what I've been told, people are buying horses all the way up to Christmas, and we are going all the way up to Christmas Eve. And then we're gonna have a week's break, and then we're back again, full steam ahead.
Yeah.
Disrupting the market slightly, which is going to be exciting. I can't tell you how excited I am for it.
So what are you going to do on Christmas Day? What are you going to eat? What are you going to eat? What are you going to drink?
Right. Okay, so Christmas Day is about getting up. My father-in-law always brings. So we go to the livery yard because we do all the horses in the morning. So everyone else is probably in bed or whatever. We do all the livery horses, and he brings us bacon and brie.
Will you be doing 5 a.m. club on Christmas Day?
Nah, I'd be lying. We're not doing 5 a.m. club. But I'll be up early. And I'll get up and I'll mosey around and stuff, because your body's in that clock, isn't it? Stuff.
Yeah.
And then I'll be shouting up the stairs to Nathan to try and get him out of bed. And then we get up to the yard, do the jobs. We've got dinner booked at 3 o'clock. We're going to Miller Carter this year, so I'm looking forward to that. And the father-in-law, we put the tunes blaring on the yard, so you've got all your Christmas songs. Probably have a little Bucks Fizz or a glass or something. And our father-in-law always brings us a bacon and brie hot baguette. He wraps it up. He runs up to the yard he gets in the car, jumps up and gives us we have breakfast served to us. So yeah, it's just nice. It's just lovely. It's just that I love the build up. I'm very lucky. I've got a very good, me and my partner.
Will it be steak for you at Miller and Carter, or will it be
No,
turkey?
no. I'm going to go traditional, and I'm even going traditional for the pudding as well. I'm going to go for Christmas pudding with a bit of custard.
Yeah.
And I'm going to have a very nice bottle of wine at the table. I'm getting a bit of a wine snob at the moment, Graham, as I'm earning a little bit more money and I'm getting a bit older. I quite like a nice bottle of wine.
What's your favourite red?
Oh, I'll tell you one I've just had at the moment. I got it from Majestic. Majestic. It's called, great name. It's called the Governor. It's a white label. It's called the Governor, and it is about 14%, and it is really lovely. Really nice, like a nice Malbec, but it's really, really good. It's about, I don't know, £10 a bottle. It's really, really nice. So
It's not got a picture of Lenny McLean on the front, has it?
No, it hasn't. No. Oh, so I'll tell you what. Have you read his book? Jesus, that is a good book to read. Yeah, do his autobiography. I'm a bit of an autobiography guy. I like an autobiography. I like his. Yeah. Very good.
What are you reading at the moment?
At the minute, I was reading. What was it? Who Not How. I was reading at the moment.
Okay. What's that? What's that?
So kind of who can help you rather than how how to kind of solve the problem as such. You know what I mean? From a
Okay.
strategic coach, I think it was. I saw it on Paul's thing, and I actually stole it. I like an audio book, so I'll be totally honest. I haven't really got time to be sitting doing the kind of flicking the pages thing,
Yeah.
and I just have it in my ear, and I'm doing what I'm doing, and I'm listening to it. That is a good one. And I literally, what else did I do at the moment? Yeah, I was doing a bit of Tony Robbins. I was listening to a little bit of that.
Oh yeah.
Mate, yeah, I quite like that and stuff like that.
Did you
I'm
ever
more
listen to that? Did you ever get that Disappearing Scotsman audiobook?
Well, first of all, I think the audio needs. I think you've got a bit more to do on the audio. Am I right or am I wrong here? Is the
Oh,
audio
it was
done?
all that was all redone last year.
Oh, it's redone. So I think I need to get that. But I was part of the Disappearing Scotsman beginning when I heard someone telling me all about it and he was going to do it and it was part of the goals and stuff like that. So that was you, obviously. And then I got a very nice card in the post and I still got your card and I've still got your book. And it's crazy to see how far me and you have come. But I remember you talking to me and saying to me at the table, you're saying, I've got to do that. I've got to do that. I've got it in my, I've got this, I've got this. And look at it now, it's one of many things that you've done, which are fantastic.
Yeah, there we go. I've got one final question for you tonight.
Oh God, so you're killing me. It's like that. Most
but it wasn't the last. But I thought, just given how the conversation started, and I knew that you wouldn't mind coming back because having you on, having somebody on who's been a London cabbie, who's been a real Del boy, who's had this roller coaster of a life. One of the questions, and I regularly ask this, is if you had £100 million, what would you do with it? And I thought that's an ideal question to ask you last. So if that was to come to fruition, if you had 100 million, how would you spend it or invest it?
I think I would.
Well,
I think I would invest. I think I would invest more in the equine world. So I would invest. I'd be able then to buy my, should we say, the dream yard with rehabilitation centres and training centres and stuff. Because I do believe horses have got a real impact on people's mental health as well. And you can start riding at any time in your life, if you've got the right horse and stuff like that. So I think that would give me and create an opportunity for me to be able to secure my future with my own land and my own, completely secure my future. Do you know what I mean? That's life-changing money, isn't it? And I probably would just go and buy myself a Bentley and I've always wanted to buy a Bentley. I don't know what it is. It's something in my mind. I've just wanted. I'm not really mental on cars. I drive like a little van and stuff like that. I'm just not really bothered on cars. But I've always wanted to go.
You don't have like a little yellow 3-wheeler, do you?
No, don't start with that. This time next year, Rodney, as they say.
Rodney.
But Berkeley Square in central London, if you know it, that's where the Bentley shop is. And I've always wanted to go in and just say, I'll have that one. Yeah, a little bit like when Del Boy does buy the Rolls Royce, when Rodney goes and buys in the Rolls Royce, when they win all of that money at Sotheby's on that timepiece. Maybe one day.
Maybe one day, but I think you touched on a little thing there, and I will let you go.
Sorry, I'm not in rush.
But you talked about that you would invest a lot of money in the equine world, and you like rehabilitation centres for horses, and then, but you mentioned about how the impact that horses can have on people and help other people's mental health as well.
Do you
have any examples of you seeing that happen as well?
I think with me, they've helped me. They've really helped me. Yeah, there's nothing better. When I sometimes write on one of our daily check-ins, I'm going for a hack. I've got tunes blaring in my ears, and I'm galloping across the. We've got 150 acres that we rent. And I go around that. It's just no better feeling. I can't understand. I can't explain it. I suppose it's like people get the thrill on being on a motorbike when they crank it up and they're flying through the, whatever they're doing. So I think horses have that. They sense you, and if you're nervous and if you're not feeling right, I think they're a good thing, and I think there's a lot to be said about therapy. I think there's actually something on Netflix. If you go onto Netflix, you'll be able to see something I've got about therapy with horses as well, and they give a lot of people a lot of happiness, and equally in return, we look after them, and so. Yeah, it does. And I think with the money thing, it's creating a legacy that, you could basically say that, you know what, I created that, a little bit like I'm doing with Prestige Equine Search now. I thought I'd just drop it in one more time so you just didn't forget what the company's name was.
Well, I tell you what, listen, tonight's all about you. So how can people find out more if they're interested in horses?
If you need to, if you're looking for your perfect horse, or you're struggling with your perfect horse, or you're just starting your journey, you now need to go to Prestige Equine Search online, look at our reviews, get in contact with me or one of my team, and we will guide you through from start to finish to find your perfect equine partner. And that was good, wasn't it?
Do you know, that could almost be an advert. I think that might need to be like an advert on the JFDI
I think it's coming.
show on Regal Radio.
I think it's coming, mate. I think it's coming. And you know what? And the nicest thing is when you get the reviews. When the horse gets delivered, like 2 have been delivered today to new families, and they send me a picture of them with their kids or something standing beside the pony or something like that. Mate, I'm on cloud 9. I'm so happy. You know what I mean? The invoice, my fee for doing that is genuinely secondary to them being happy. And then I give them a follow-up call a couple of days, and it's just everyone's excited, and it's just really, really cool. So
and I think that's all part of your way. It's the unique nature of what you're doing and how you're doing it is genuine. You can see that comes across. It's like
you're helping
the money. The money's good, but it's how it makes people feel. That's the.
It will. The money will come as long as I serve people correctly. I think we both learned that, right? If I serve people correctly, and I've got my way of doing it, I'm just delivering my way of doing it, and hopefully I'll be known for in many years to come as one of the leading people in the UK or the world.
Brilliant. Well, let's hope so.
Why not?
Dunne, thank you very much indeed for coming along tonight. Is there anything I've not asked you that I should have?
You have absolutely. You've taken me on a journey where I've got happy. I've got very emotional. You saw me as well, but you know what? I'm not bothered about getting emotional because it shows you how passionate I am about the change. You know what I mean? How I've changed and where I am today. And also, I keep going on about it, but I'm super excited. I'm very honoured to be part of it, and I look forward to my next invitation. I expect one in 2022. We can talk again.
Oh, we absolutely can. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's been a pleasure tonight. I look forward to Ben Nevis. I look forward to catching up with you. And hearing about, I mean, the exciting stuff there on the horse side of things.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, like a program starting and kind of bigger sort of goals being set there. Fantastic. And I can't wait.
Thank you for doing this, mate. I'm really pleased.
Oh,
for
listen.
I remember High G's. I didn't look like this, yeah. The most exclusive nightclub, and it's been an honour.
Well, you now fall into that small select category of person that when you visit Scotland, if you're anywhere near here, there's a VIP ticket with your name on it to visit this place in person, whenever you like.
There you go. I mean, life can't really get a lot better, really, can it? So it's been a pleasure, mate, and honestly, an honour for you to ask me questions. And I look forward to, as I said, I look forward to our journey together next year because we're rolling, right? We've got things to look forward to.
Absolutely. Yeah. Thank you very much indeed. And to those watching tonight, we've had a couple of comments which I'll let you look at once we're done.
Yeah, good.
Ben Dunne, stay in the green room.
Thank you for having me, guys.
Tuned in. Thank you very much indeed.
Cheers.
And we'll see you. I think all that's left is that I wish you all a very Merry Christmas.
Happy Christmas to you. Yeah, I mean, we're going out on this note. Fucking happy Christmas. It's good. We're nearly there.
Yeah. All the very best, everybody, for 2022. I think we're back on the show on the 6th of January. But there'll be a special radio show coming between now and then. So thank you all very much indeed, and good night. Ben Dunne. Cheers.